Where did the money come from? Where did it go? How was this allowed to happen? Who is to blame? These are the key questions surrounding the credit crunch that has engulfed the global financial system. The answer, in part, is that there wasn't anywhere near as much money as there seemed to be, and because it didn't exist in the first place. The money hasn't gone anywhere. It was all an illusion, although the economic consequences of its disappearance turned out to be very real indeed. As to how it was allowed to happen and who is to blame, in a sense, the honest reply is that we all allowed it to happen, and we're all to blame, either as active accomplices or complicit bystanders. Society as a whole made a collective, unconscious decision to allow the banking system to grow unchecked because the tangible benefits that seemed to accrue from unbridled capitalism outweighed the intangible hazards that might accompany this dangerous test of capitalism's limits. Consider an analogous bit of history. In 19th century Britain, physicians finally began to understand human physiology, working out the body's geography by mapping veins and arteries, dissecting eyes and hearts, and manipulating bones and joints. The new knowledge promised to usher in a period of unprecedented medical advancement. Religious beliefs and general distaste, however, meant that few people would send the corpses of deceased relatives to the gurneys of surgeons with eager scalpels. After all, how could a dismembered body pass through the gates of heaven? Surgeons instead dissected the bodies of executed criminals who lost dominion over their body parts' destination upon conviction. But, even fueled by the era's commonplace executions, supply was insufficient to meet demand. A shadowy secondary market in cadavers developed. Those who died in a hospital and weren't quickly claimed by their loved ones moved from mortuaries to teaching hospitals, sold by undertakers and bought by physicians. Even those claimed by family and properly buried could be dug up and sold to satiate the needs of the anatomists. The authorities, both legal and medical, turned a blind eye to the practice of grave robbing, while the general public remained ignorant about how doctors were getting smarter. For society as a whole, it was a win-win situation, until a pair of entrepreneurs called William Burke and William Hare decided to circumvent the waiting time demanded by nature, started murdering for profit, and brought the whole grisly, underhanded process into the open. A similar conspiracy of vested interests caused the credit crunch. Any banker, trader, investor, or economist asked to invent the perfect financial market environment for creating global wealth beyond the wildest dreams of avarice would have come up with a list of conditions similar to those that prevailed for a decade. Like those of Burke and Hare, these good times have ended with an almighty bang, not a whimper, wiping out the nest eggs of millions of workers by destroying stock market values around the world, undermining ordinary savers' confidence in the safety of the banking system, and exposing deep fault lines in the philosophy of capitalism. The financial community, through a deadly combination of greed and hubris, fouled its own sandpit. The era of munificent money-making conditions, regulation and oversight so gentle as to be almost invisible, ever faster data and information flows, freely available credit at super low interest rates, unprecedented access to investors all around the world, and oil-enriched buyers of any investment yielding north of zero, is over.